You ever walk into a club warehouse and see a really good deal on a product and you're like, man, I really need to stock up on this? Or you say to yourself, wow, I just want to buy a bunch of this and give it to friends and family? Possibly even spread the love by gifting it during the holidays. This year, everyone on my Christmas list is getting Wagyu Biltong. Hey friends, my name is George Gianaris. I'm a chef of 36 years, and if you're here, it's because you like to eat healthy, save money, and cook like a pro. And today we're going to be making biltong. What is biltong? Biltong is a type of cured meat that was actually invented in South Africa. And the first time I came across it was when I was visiting my good friends Chuck and Teeny in Austria, and my buddy Chuck had this string of meat hanging over the radiator in his apartment. Biltong is kind of like jerky, but different. It's cured in much thicker strips, and unlike jerky, it needs to be refrigerated. Biltong is sliced thin when it's ready to be served. Biltong is not hard to make, but there's a specific method that you need to follow to ensure that you make the perfect biltong. Let's begin. Cut your meat into strips that are about 1¼ inches thick or 30 millimeters. Make sure that the grain of the meat runs parallel with its length. Later on, when you're slicing the biltong, you want to cut it across the grain. Weigh the meat and write this number down. You're going to multiply that number by 0.06 because the ratio of salt to meat is 6%. Our meat weighed 4,500 grams, and so we're going to use 270 grams of salt. Evenly coat the meat with Celtic sea salt. Cover it with plastic and place it in the refrigerator for an hour and a half. Take it out, flip the meat over, and then back in the fridge for another hour and a half for a total of 3 hours. Here's the ratio of spices in grams for every 1,000 grams or kilo of meat. You want to toast the fennel seeds and coriander seeds to release the aromatics. Coriander and black peppercorns are a staple found in most biltong recipes. Fennel seeds are also popular. In mine, I like to add ancho chili, dehydrated minced onion, and granulated garlic. Give the spices a coarse chop. All of these spices are organic. Organic spices taste so much better. A complete recipe is on my website, awarehousechef.com. For the wet ingredients, mix raw organic honey, vinegar, and coconut aminos. We want to scrape off the excess salt, not rinse it off. To do this, I use a baking scraper and a little elbow grease. Wash out the glass pan, coat and cover the Wagyu with the wet ingredients, and then back in the fridge for another hour and a half. Remove most of the excess moisture with a paper towel and liberally coat the Wagyu with the dry ingredients. I'm going to hang these to air dry in my meat locker, which is basically a refrigerator with a dehydrator built into it. It is crucial that the meat loses 50% of its weight. That will ensure that it is moist when you slice it. You want to write down the weight of each piece. If you use a traditional refrigerator, throw a small battery-operated fan in it to help circulate the air. Traditional biltong is not dried in the refrigerator. I use the refrigerator for 2 reasons. 1, it's safer, and 2, I prefer the taste of biltong when it's cured in the refrigerator. The downside is that it takes almost twice as long, anywhere from 2 to 3 weeks, depending on how thick the cuts. So these have been in my dry age refrigerator for 16 days. Well, at the most 16 days. The thinner pieces I took out at 15 days. So that's how long it took in my refrigerator for these to dehydrate to 50% of their weight. The meat is really stiff and firm. It's almost like a giant piece of jerky, but when you slice into this, it's going to be quite moist. It's a good idea to vacuum seal these with a pack of food-grade silica. So one of the beautiful things about this biltong is how versatile it is. You can have it as a snack, you can add it to a side dish for breakfast, like with eggs. You can season food with it and rehydrate it. You can do anything you want with this, and it will last in the refrigerator, especially if it's in a shrink-wrapped or vacuum-sealed container, for 6 or 7 months at least. And this is a biltong slicer. Biltong is hard on the outside and softer on the inside. It is a bit tricky to cut thinly by hand. Is it really necessary that you use a biltong slicer? Not if you're comfortable with a knife. I released a video Actually, one of the first videos I ever released is how to use a knife, and there's gonna be a link to that at the end of this video. The thinner your biltong is, the tastier and softer it is. This is an absolutely perfect addition to any charcuterie board. I think this slicer, along with some biltong, will make an excellent gift for the holidays. I know I'd be really happy to get this for Christmas. Oh, it's amazing. It almost tastes like pastrami. I think that's because I added the garlic and the minced onion to it. How do you make your biltong? Leave a comment down below. If you like this video, show the love, hit that like button, and hit subscribe, and we'll see you again very soon.